I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. These Bucks.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by Lee Goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little.
No, my camera's broke.
Howdy ho, howdy hey, how the hell is everybody? We're here on a Friday, Feel Good Friday morning. We're here on a special Buck What You Heard Buccaneers podcast for live here, Tampa Tones. Gene and J-Lo in the house discussing all things Buck schedule, NFL schedule, what we like, what we don't like, and so much more here today on the short but sweet edition of the Buccaneers. Without further ado, we're going to welcome in Gene. Gene, thanks for joining on a Friday morning. So happy to have you as always, brother. And kind of the last big phase of the offseason is come and gone, the schedule release.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man. What's up? Man, I'm excited for this schedule. There have been some games I've got penciled in, and I think I'm going to try to get to. I'll definitely be in Tampa for Christmas week. I have some things going on with the Gasparilla crew I belong to, so we'll be throwing out some beads and having some fun in December. And we'll definitely get the link up, I hope, with at least some part of the crew.
Yeah, we're definitely going to make some things happen along the way here. We got such a great crew on Buccaneers, Buck What You Heard, and Gene Gasparilla. That's a fun little preview there. J-Lo, schedule release comes, schedule release goes. Like every NFL offseason, it's just flying by, brother.
Hallelujah. I've been waiting for a long time, and finally schedule came out, and we got 4 primetime games. 4. I've never seen that before. You know what I mean? Like, even before, during Brady time, we had primetime games, but before then, we barely got 1.
Yeah, and that is so true. Before Brady, barely got 1. When Brady came, we did up it a little bit. We got the great J.C. Allen from Sports Illustrated saying, "Sup, fellas." We have Olive saying, "Morning, fellas. What's the most exciting game this season from the schedule release?" Morning to you as well, Olive. JC says, "Going to KC." Well, I'll start there. I'm going to Kansas City as well. Me and JC can't be at the same Bucs game at the same time, though, so that might be a problem. But we're doing it for Pop's 60th birthday, and that is by far the game I'm excited about most. That'll be a great litmus test for this football team, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Week 9 at Kansas City on the road, Monday Night Football. Everybody's watching. What is this team made of? Baker Mayfield almost pulled out a win in Kansas City a couple years prior in the playoffs. Will he be able to do it this time on Monday Night Football in the most vaunted environment, perhaps, of all of the NFL, Arrowhead Stadium? So for me, the most exciting game on the schedule is at Kansas City. It's a great – see, I'm telling you, that's an L. When me and JC are in the building at the same time, it just doesn't work out. Gene, what game excites you the most?
To me, probably that's kind of a tough one. I guess I do think the Kansas City game, I just think it sucks that it's on a Monday. I had that game penciled in. I was going to go, but I mean, logistically, it's a pain in the tuchus trying to get to that game and then get in and get out and get over to MCI and get back home and stuff. And I don't know. I just there's a lot to it. I'll have to kind of revisit it and see if I really want to go to that game. It was the one away game that I wanted. I'm kind of leaning more towards going to New York or New Jersey for the Giants game. So again, there's a lot. It's still kind of up in the air. Got some friends coming from across the pond, and I definitely want to link up with a home game in Tampa. So there's a lot going on, and we'll just kind of have to see how this goes as we get closer to summer.
Yeah, and for those again that are just real quick, hey, what's their schedule like? What is it like? I'll run through a quick preseason. August 10th, we got Cincinnati on the road. August 17th, we got Jacksonville on the road. August 23rd, Miami at home. I expect joint practices between Dolphins and Jaguars as
Oh
JC.
yeah, and
And
we got to get the
JC,
doll. We got to get the doll on so we can talk some trash.
Doll fan. She's an incredible follow. If anyone wants to follow her, her Twitter is doll_fan, PHAN72. Great lady over there, a friend of the show's. Gene got her on the program a couple weeks back, and we're definitely going to get her when the Dolphins and Bucs are going at it. Then week 1, Commandos, September 8th, 1 East or 4:05 East or 4:25 Eastern. I'm sorry. We'll hopefully get our friends from the Command this podcast on for that one as well. They're always a good time. Week 2 at Detroit, 1 o'clock. Week 3, Sean Payton comes back to Tampa, and that's a 1 o'clock game. Week 4, the Eagles, 1 o'clock. Week 5, short week, Thursday night football on my mom's birthday in Atlanta. Then we get a mini bye, October 13th. We're at the Saints. So back-to-back divisional road opponents. And then Baltimore, Monday night football. That'll be a fun one, gents. 8:15 Eastern, October 21st. Atlanta, October 27th at home. That'll be a fun one. Seems like we always play them late October at home. November 4th, Monday Night Football on the road against Kansas City. November 10th, home against the San Francisco 49ers, 1 o'clock. Then bye week, then at the Giants. Maybe Gene might be there. We'll see. That's November 24th. Carolina, December 1st at Carolina, that is, with Dave Canales and co. December 8th, I'll be at this one as well. Home against the Raiders. I will be there. Pencil me in for that. 1 o'clock Eastern. That'll be a lot of fun. Then back-to-back road games, December 15th in LA and December 22nd in Dallas for Sunday Night
Ugh.
Football. Then Carolina and Saints at home to close out the year. J-Lo, anything catching your eye there?
Yeah, man, that gauntlet like toward the middle, going from at Atlanta to New Orleans, and you come back home against Baltimore, and then play the second game against Atlanta, and then go to Kansas City, and then San Francisco at home. That middle schedule is really intriguing. You know, when you ask which games intrigue you, it's kind of hard to pick between that middle of the gauntlet. But if somehow, some way the Bucs can go 6-4 or even 5-5, I'll take it. Because after the bye week, you got a chance to like go on a run here and win, consecutive games. Going to New York, and then going to Carolina to play Davy Boy and the Panthers. And then when you come down for Vegas, and then back-to-back with the Chargers and Cowboys, which I think will be tricky. And then you come home to finish against two division opponents. I gotta say, I kind of like how they did the schedule, but that middle gauntlet's gonna be really intriguing because we're really gonna know what we're made of by the time we play Atlanta on the road Thursday night, and that's gonna be on my daughter's birthday as well. So
that'll be really fun. So that's a big one then. That one.
Oh yeah, so that I gotta say on the road to Atlanta, I think that's gonna be the intriguing game to start to where we're really.
So your daughter and my mom share a birthday. That's cool stuff.
October 3rd.
Yep, that's a start to the path of prime time right there. And also shout out quickly to Corey Hayes, always sharing our stuff. Great job there. We do appreciate you. Shout out to Christian watching us on Facebook right now and all the other viewers. We are live on Buccaneers. I'm having trouble getting this damn thing on Buck What You Heard as well. Usually
not a worry, man. We're good. We're good.
Usually we're multi-streaming, that's one thing. Once I set this up, it's like, feel like I'm in the Stone Age once it's all set up. Feel like Fred Flintstone behind the damn computer.
Yeah, but
adventures in live streaming,
Yeah, that's so my apologies, Gene, but
Oh no worries, man. I love being on with you guys. It's a Friday. I didn't expect to be on. And fortunately, I had a cancellation at work, and so I had a little bit of time where I could jump on here and chop it up with you fellas, and get some actually quality Bucks time in. I kind of want to go back to the schedule, and everybody talks about this is the easiest schedule. I think we're like number 4 the fourth easiest schedule this season, but the way I'm looking at these games, I I don't know what I'm seeing that. There are teams that have made some great improvements from last year, and I don't know what they base that on, but the games have to be played one way or the other. But to me, this looks like a tougher schedule than what what is being presented. You know.
Yeah, and I feel like Gene, you make a great point. As our favorite Canadian, Pepin Steppin says, "What's up, guys?" And one of the lovely lady listeners, Emily Campa, is in the house as well. So two tremendous people
Hey, hey, Em,
joining us.
your shirt is on the way.
There we go. M's getting geared up from Buck. What you heard right there. Love that. Love
Yeet.
that. And as we continue on here, Pepin Steppin says, I'll be going to 2 games, Detroit and Baltimore. But kind of to piggyback off Gene's point, the schedule to me is a lot harder than it seems. I think it just skews our divisional opponents, right? So it's taken the Panthers 2 wins from last year, and it's taken teams like Falcons and Saints that missed the playoffs. And, they're saying since we got 6 of those games on our schedule that it's getting tilted down. But outside of that, man, 6 of the first 11 weeks are literally against playoff teams from last year, I believe. And not only that, we have 4 games on our schedule against the champions, the NFC Championship and AFC Championship game last year. We have all 4 teams. So from favorite game to least favorite game on our schedule, if I had to pick a least favorite game on the schedule, guys, there's a lot of undesirable ones, but I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way here. Obviously, I said I'm looking forward to Kansas City Monday night, or at least it intrigues me. One game that doesn't intrigue me, and I will be amped up for because it's a primetime game, but I just feel like we don't match up well against the Ravens, to be completely honest. I think it's going to be a scary one. I think Lamar Jackson is just the type of quarterback that could mince his defense apart. Obviously, it'll be different this year, and we never know. As Gene says, we got to play the game, so schedule could shake out differently. But as of right now, guys, one game I'm not looking forward to. It seems like the Ravens always have our number. Really, it seems like they kick our ass just about every time out there. Gene, what say you on the one?
I'm with you. I really dread that Ravens game, but I really believe addition by subtraction is going to be the case here. I know that Devin White always, it presented a problem for him, but I think if you have a disciplined linebacker in place, I think it changes a whole lot of things. For this team or for this defense especially. And I really feel like they can go out there and do some damage. So to me, I'm leery of this game, but I'm excited to see how this Bucs defense matches up against a quality opponent like a Baltimore Ravens team.
Yeah, I mean, I remember what was that? Yeah, Thursday night a couple of years ago, right? Baltimore comes to town. That's Logan Hall's rookie year. We're kind of falling
Jesus
apart
Christ.
at that point. Remember it?
Jesus Christ, fucking God.
But
if Lost in the Sauce was a person in that game, that
yeah.
would have been him.
And remember, we were kind of hanging in there, and then Shaq Barrett got the season-ending injury, and ever since that, Lamar just Lamar'd us, and we really didn't have an answer for that Baltimore offense. But this defense will look different, but man, that offense just scares the living piss out of me. And now with Derrick Henry back there, guys, I know we've had some great run defenses in years past, recent years especially, but J-Lo, do you see it going differently, or do you agree with Gene and I that, hey, this one is the scariest, or one of the scariest games on the schedule?
I mean, there's a bunch of games I could put out that are scary, but Baltimore, it's really up in the air, It's like toward the middle. So really, we're not going to know how it looks. I mean, who knows? Injuries happen. You never know. Let's see if Lamar even makes it to that game because, he is injury prone, even though he had a healthy season last year. But I think we're going to be a little bit faster on defense than we were 2 years ago. And usually we play Lamar pretty well for the most part until the second half of 2 years ago's game. We end up just getting Lamar, like you said. But I was at the Baltimore game back in 2018 during his rookie year, and we contained him pretty well, even he was a rookie. I don't see really him much as scary to me. The Chiefs, the Niners, the Lions,
I
they
mean, that
scare
was
me.
when Lamar was a rookie. I mean, that's a long time ago. He barely played his rookie season. Actually, Joe Flacco started every game Lamar's rookie season until the playoffs, I believe. So, you know, I don't really count Lamar's rookie year as much because he didn't really play that year. And then the couple times we faced off with them since, the Ravens just bludgeoned us. And I remember the years before that, the Ravens bludgeoned us. It just always seems the Ravens bludgeon us. I'm not really concerned as much. Like Kansas City, they didn't really do much to improve their team, right? You know, they drafted a wide receiver. Kudos to that. But we all know how rookie wide receivers go. They might not be acclimated fully into the offense until midway through the season, late through the season. And the way Harbaugh coaches, let's not forget the Ravens were by far the favorite to make it to the Super Bowl out of the AFC last year heading into the playoffs. So I think that's by far the toughest game on the schedule. And the one, let's be honest, Bucs always struggle against the running quarterbacks. Who's the best running quarterback we play? Lamar Jackson. Who's the best QB we play? I mean, it's a tie between Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. I get what you're saying, J-Lo, but I totally disagree. I think the Ravens are going to give this Bucs defense far, 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 far more troubles than any other challenge we're going to face this year.
We'll see. I mean, you know, I just feel that.
I mean, we haven't proved it. We keep getting our ass kicked against Baltimore. We beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, you know.
I remember going to the game years ago when we got blown out at halftime and I left early.
And then we won the Super Bowl that year.
No. I'm talking about 2014 where Joe Flacco looked like an all-pro quarterback and blew us out of our stadium.
Oh, fuck. Dude, that's what I'm
that
saying.
game.
These guys always kick our ass somehow.
Especially at home. We just love getting our ass kicked at home by the Ravens.
And do you think, J-Lo, do you think that happens to have something to do with, you know, do you think that's mental at all, like for this football team, or do you think that's just a coincidence?
I think just bad coaching. Bad coaching. That's my answer. It's bad coaching.
Didn't we have Lord Byron was the last time we faced the Ravens? It was Lord Byron was the OC, right?
Yes, he was.
Lord Byron.
Yeah, so
The Super Bowl
like,
play
oh Lord, it's Byron kind of thing. I don't mean Lord Byron like he's royalty or something.
Yeah, well, we'll see, man. I mean, J-Lo, definitely those two, right? Chiefs and Ravens. I mean, you could throw San Fran up there as well. But what I know San Fran's coming off a bye, like Donnie Pepinstead, Steppin' Peppin. But what makes me feel better about San Fran is they got to come to us, right? And it's a morning game. That's a 1 o'clock Eastern game. So for San Fran, that's what, like 10 a.m. their time or something? And I know elite teams could put that behind them, but to me, out of those three, I'm probably feeling, honestly, again, I know it's off the bye, but I'm probably feeling the best about San Fran, followed by Kansas City. And then I think, for me personally, Baltimore is the toughest. But apples and oranges, those three teams are juggernauts. I think the Eagles will be better this year. You know, well, at least from the last time we've seen them as well. So Bucs schedule is definitely a little tough to begin the year. And we're not live for a long time here, but we do got JC. JC, how you doing, brother? Grab the tables quick. Let's do a stunner here. But how the hell are you? Happy Friday. And what say you on the state of the Bucs schedule?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just caught in a Florida rainstorm. Such is life. But, yeah, I think the schedule, I mean, there's some good and some bad, right? You got the good, the bad, the ugly. I think the good is when you look at that bye week, week 11, that's good. When you look at the stretch of games after that, you really don't have the Chargers and I think the Cowboys to kind of pause for a second. But I think both of those teams are beatable if the Bucs are healthy and in the right situation they were last year. You know, so I think that's some good. You got the bad, obviously. You know, you've got some tough matchups to start the season with Detroit and Philadelphia. That will be an early measuring stick. Learning a new offense, a new scheme, trying to implement some new players, younger players into the mix. That could be kind of a situation that could go from, all right, well, we could be here, but, you know, now we're here.
Hey, JC, real quick.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there will be a easier transition going from our previous OC to the new one because the schemes are sort of different or sort of the same? Is that going to be easier learning curve for the
Oh,
offense?
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're going from, medieval times to, smart house last year. You know what I'm saying? So this year is going from smart house to, I don't know the comparison, but, you're going to
It's like going from Boone's Farm to Alizé, huh?
right. I mean, this you're going from a very minimal transition here, this year from what they were, because Canals ran a system of like a version of the West Coast offense. It wasn't a true West Coast offense because he took stuff that he learned from Schottenheimer and what he learned from Carroll, and Daryl Bevel, and kind of wrapped it into a base system of what Shane Waldron was running with him, right? Which is
Hmm.
he was the OC with McVay for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So this year it's going back to that true kind of West Coast, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay offensive system. We've already seen wrinkles of that with the pre-snap at snap motion in minicamp, and we'll see more of that starting this week, Tuesday, minicamp. OTAs rather. We'll get to see some more of that, see how they incorporate the veterans in there. But yeah, it should be fairly quickly to get this system down. But as for the ugly, you got that stretch between week 7 and 10, and no one really kind of knows what the Falcons are going to be. Is Kirk Cousins at Achilles going to be good? Are they going to be pretenders or contenders? I think a lot of people are waiting to see that. But if they are, I mean, you've got the Falcons in between the Ravens, in between, the Chiefs, and then you've got a matchup against the San Francisco 49ers between the buys. So I think that's, for me, that's the good, the bad, the ugly. Obviously, 4 primetime games is pretty nice for the Bucs. I think they deserved it after being about 5 plays away from going to the NFC Championship. Um, Thursday night football, I thought was probably going to be, I predicted to be against the Falcons just because it's a matchup you want to see, but not one you want to waste on a primetime spot. And the Bucs and the Cowboys always bring in numbers, so it makes sense.
We need
I
some
just wish you.
payback we need some Thursday night payback on Atlanta, man, after that 56-3 ass lash in years and years back now. But yeah, that was ugly times. Real quick, J-Lo, I want to get your thoughts, and we're going to go around the table here. Record prediction, and are you a fan of the bye week? I'm a fan of the bye week because it comes after a real tough stretch against Saints, Falcons, and you got Ravens, you got 49ers, you got Chiefs. So the bye week coming after that grueling stretch is appealing to me. And I see this team as a 10-11 win ball club. I'll say that right now. J-Lo, how many wins do you see, and do you like the bye week?
First and foremost, the record, I agree with you. I think it's going to be 10 or 11 wins for sure. I'm really confident in this squad and what they're trying to prove out there. I think they're going to really shock a lot of teams this year, especially that gauntlet coming up. Um, and as far as the bye week, I've always been a fan of later on in the season, so I'm glad they decided to put at week 11 instead of like an early bye week. I just wish they would have separated the Atlanta games, like separate a little bit longer instead of playing them 2 weeks later. That's the only thing I don't like as far as the schedule goes. But the bye week 11, that's good. I think we'll be able to go on a run and win some consecutive games after that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Dean, I know you had something else to maybe say as well, but after that, record prediction, or how many wins do you see us getting, and do you like the bye week?
I love the bye week, man. Every time you can get a late in the season bye week, that is great. Especially if your team is on track to get to the playoffs, it's ideal. I think that your team comes back energized, especially for the back end of the season, and it's something you want to see. I was kind of spoiled by it, when Brady was here. We had late past the midpoint of the season buys, and that bodes well for your team to get healed up and get people that may be nicked up a little bit of extra rest and get them ready for the back end and get them ready for that playoff run. So I'm super excited for this, and I think that's one of the best parts of this particular schedule this year to me.
I agree. And Gene, did you have something else to add? I know I kind of,
Oh
you
no,
know,
no, no. Just basically, just kind of piggybacking off of what you guys were talking about, and ultimately, I like where this team is. I like the consistency. I like the fact that you have the same head coach. You have the majority of your defensive coordinators are in place. And they I feel like they've drafted good in the past seasons. Time will tell what this draft really looks like. So I'm excited for that. And again, this is the consistency. This is what a good football franchise should be doing. Re re re-signing all of your draft picks, bringing them back in. Homegrown talent puts you in a totally different league than teams that have consistent turnover, and it's going to really show itself. I believe this season. That's one of my hot takes. Is it'll show itself this season, just having that consistency. And I'm really, players that I'm looking forward to seeing. Looking forward to seeing what Vita Vea does. Looking forward to seeing what Kalijah Cansey does. Looking forward to seeing what a healthy, 100% healthy Chris Godwin does. Rashad White. Let's see if he makes that next leap. And these are great tests throughout the season. That's going to show what this team will do. But I think the biggest part is winning in your division. These games are like gold. Got to knock them out of the park. And I like the way they're placed. And it really will show the character of this team by, I would say, the bye week, or I'm sorry, the midpoint of the season, I should say.
yeah, and Gene, I think you make some great points there. I do like the shape of this team right now, the stature heading into this one, and heading into this season, I should say. I actually feel pretty good about it. A lot of tough tests, but I don't mind a tough test, and a lot of good division battles to be had. JC, how many wins does this team get in your eyes? And do you like the timing of the bye? I think Pep and Steppen brings up a good point about last year's bye killing our momentum a little bit. Baker Mayfield kind of, he went on College Game Day during that. A lot of interviews for Baker. It seemed like we fell off a little bit shortly thereafter. Obviously, regained momentum down the line. But I like this bye week in week 11. And the NFL's kind of doing away with those early bye weeks, it seems, and kind of backloading the back half of the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense in a 18-week season, right? If you add the preseason games on, you're looking at 21 weeks, and then the teams that go to the playoffs, even more. So the bye week comes at a perfect time. Last year, there was talks like, okay, week 5 bye week sucks, but if things aren't going the Bucs' way, could they use it to kind of reset and kind of fine tool the offense going forward? But again, it stalled their momentum. I think one thing Gene brought up a lot that goes underlooked is having the consistency on the roster is
Mhm.
so huge for this team. Especially you look at their Week 1 opponent, the Commanders. How many free agents did they brought in? Now they did a lot of good things in the offseason. I really like what they did, but they brought in a bunch of free agents, had a bunch of draft picks that they added as well. It's going to take time, more than training camp and more than the allotted time and pads and etc. for these guys to kind of gel and figure out who they are, their identity. The Bucs are going into the season with that. And another thing to remember too is Baker split almost all the training camp reps in first 2 weeks of preseason with Kyle Trask. So he was still kind of getting those extra reps in um, for getting those extra reps in on the offense with Mike Evans, with Chris Godwin. That's not going to happen this year. He's taking full starter reps from this week at OTAs and even before that in phase 1 when he's been in town working. Of course, because he's not going to skip it because he's got a newborn at home, so he's there every day he can be there. But all the way into the start of the season, so they should be on point. It's a system that he's familiar with. It's a system that they have John Wolford, who, if there's any questions, he can be that bridge there. And I think the consistency, the carryover of this offense to last year's offense, just talking to some of the guys too, they echo those same sentiments. Like, it's not a lot of differences. It's what we call it is different. Terminology is different, but pretty much it's the same plays. And what's even more exciting is the fact that Baker's going to have a lot more freedom at the line with a bunch of different cans and audibles and stuff like that to do. When it's a running play, he's going to have run, pass, So we go up to the play. This is the route we're running. No, this is the play we're running. No, this run play is not going to work. Switch into this run play. If we still want to run the ball, if that's not even there, then we switch into pass. So there's going to be a lot more freedom for Baker Mayfield to put guys into better situations as well. So I think when you look at this team, the way it's constructed with the consistency, with the playmakers they brought in the back end, with the speed they have, as J-Lo mentioned, this team has a lot more speed and athleticism to it. They're bigger in the middle of the line. That should help with the running game. I don't see why this team can't win 10 games. I even pushed to see maybe 11-6. I think is their probably their ceiling. Maybe they smash through, and 12-4 could be it. But it's going to take a team effort. They've got some very difficult opponents on the roster. Detroit, obviously Philadelphia. They smashed them, but they're always one of those teams you kind of. They're good in the regular season, and then obviously the Chiefs, the Niners, and the Ravens. If they can sneak out 2 of those wins and handle business against the teams they should, probably with a split against New Orleans or Atlanta, like usually happens. 10-6, 10-7, 11-6. I don't think is out of the realm with this possibility. Of course, with the asterisks, they're healthy, and that's the big thing. And I think you've seen this team, besides corner, has done a good job at kind of keeping everyone healthy for the most part. So credit to there wasn't anyone on IR last year
Yeah.
long term. I think Raheem Jarrett, who ended up coming off of
And
back of IR.
that's not a loss either, really, to be fair.
Right. And Mike Green was the other guy who went on IR. But, you brought up Pat O'Connor, so you had that guy. So, I think if they stay healthy, this 10-7, 11-6 should not be out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, and I think I agree totally with JC Allen. We are joined by JC Allen from the great Bucs Game Day, SI coverage, and all that good stuff. Pirate Parlay podcast. Be sure to check them out. We're live for a couple more minutes. Your boy's got to catch a flight to Houston, so I'm all
jet
out.
setter.
Yeah,
Always on the move.
I'm on I got another bachelor party, man. Everyone decides.
Welcome to the good life.
Everyone decides to do this shit at the same time. Houston actually got annihilated last night, so hoping our hotel roof is still on. I know some roofs blew off and all that fun stuff, but nonetheless, I'll be swimming in a stream of bear one way or another. Be sure to participate in our bear draft. Buck what you heard. Buccaneers, give your recommendations to Gene or myself. Guys, outside the Bucs, one game that catches your eye from this year's schedule. I'll start here. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, last year it was pretty much a playoff game before the playoffs to end the year. CJ Stroud against Anthony Richardson last week of the year. That was on a Saturday. Texans barely sputtered past the Colts there, obviously made some noise in the playoffs. Richardson was out that game. Gardner Minshew was in that game. Now, week 1 this year, you get a rejuvenated Anthony Richardson. To me, you get the top 2 QBs from last year's draft class. Week 1 this season, AR-15, CJ Stroud. Let's get after it. That's my week 1 game I'm looking forward to most. Also, Brazil should be interesting, seeing the environment over there for Packers, Eagles. JC, what's one game that catches your eye from the NFL schedule that's not Bucs related?
Week 1?
Or it could be anything. I just named week 1 because I love week 1. So off the top of my head, I was like, I'm amped for that one because, that'll be one of the first games we get.
Yeah, I think, the Brazil game is going to be a lot of fun to see how they, embrace the NFL crowd. Like the KC Baltimore game is going to be must-watch TV. I think, the return of Aaron Rodgers at SoFi is going to be good as well. I would probably say, just kind of briefly checking out the schedule. KC Buffalo is always a good matchup, and that's week 2, I think, Thursday.
And I heard Taylor Swift has a concert right near there that week. Go figure.
Right. So I think that's always a good one to watch. Anytime Miami gets a good opponent, that's pretty fun to watch too. Miami Green Bay later in the season is going to be fun too. But yeah, let's just go the opener. I mean, what a way to kick off the season, KC versus Baltimore, right?
That's going to be electric.
The Harbaugh Bowl is going to be fun too. That will be fun.
Yeah, Harbaugh Bowl round 2, and this time they're in the same conference, the AFC. So you got AFC on AFC Harbaugh crime there. I like those choices. Gene, one non-Bucs game that catches your eye or tickles your fancy for this year?
I don't know. I'm looking at the Brazil game. I just want to see if any of the Eagles fans come up missing, talking crazy over there in Brazil, possibly I don't know, the Steelers Falcons game may be interesting. Probably I want to see what Caleb does. So probably the Bears Titans is the one that really intrigues me.
As JC and Gene are getting called out for eating ho-hos and bonbons and playing
I'm in the car. It's pouring rain. I'm about to head into Aldi's.
TLC match. JC, we'll get you out of here then. If you want to give us your final word here quick, brother. I don't want to hold up your Aldi's visit. Could be storming out there. So give us your final word, brother. And thanks for stopping by on this special Friday show.
Hey, there's J-Lo. Emily brings it out of us, right? Final word.
Yeah.
Just keep on tuning
Emily has
into
no
all the
filter.
amazing podcasts we have out here.
And
Buccaneers.
plug
Buckets
yourself,
Are
brother.
Heard,
Plug yourself.
Pirate Parlay. Here are the cannons. We just did a schedule breakdown. At JC Allen NFL. Follow me there. I don't think Emily's following me on Twitter yet. So get over there and follow me. Jeez.
Way to
Calm
way to
down. I'm
call her
calling
out.
you out. Calling you out. All my work is over at Bucs Game Day,
Get 'em.
powered by Sports Illustrated. So go check all of that stuff out. Just I'll always be popping in here with my fellas. Appreciate you,
One-stop
Gene. When you
shop.
come to town, we got to definitely link up. Tones,
Yeah.
when we meet up in KC, I'm not going to meet you because I don't want that bad juju happening. You know how it goes. When me and
Yeah.
Tones are at the same game. Dude, wait, weren't we at the same game last year? When we snapped that streak.
Yeah, we were at one. Weren't we both at the Titans game?
I think we
No.
both. No, I was sick at the Titans game. I couldn't make it there. So no, you're bad luck.
You were with me, bro. We won, Tones.
I know
was
you were
with you.
there, brother. But anyways, everybody, catch JCL and One Stop Shop. It's like a TLC match. You got a little bit of everything: tables, ladders, chairs. You got a little bit of Bucs podcasting. You got Bucs articles and all that stuff. JC,
Everything.
before your car blows away, you be safe heading into Aldi. And thanks again, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll shout out Nathan Elliott, my man. Fill the Boat Operation 2024. Get your tickets right now for the Bucs cruise. It was a freaking blast. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna be on there. Pewter Report's gonna be on there.
I'll be on there.
You guys
I'll be
all
on
should
there.
Yeah, you guys should all be on there. I'm hearing some rumors about some people who could be there. Some draft picks, maybe the return of Warren Sapp. Who knows? So, mark your calendars, get your dates going there. I think it's March 7th to the 10th out of Miami. 3-day cruise to Key West, Bimini, Bahamas, and then back to Fort Lauderdale. So, definitely check that out too. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, that's awesome, JC. We appreciate that. Great stuff from the best in the business to me. That's JCL, and he just does a phenomenal job. But that Bucs crew is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
J-Lo, I don't think you gave us your game you're looking forward to most yet outside the Bucs. So maybe it's the Bucs cruise, although not a game,
I'll go week one. I say the Rams and the Lions, Sunday Night Football. I think we're going to see a lot of fireworks, with that game, with Matthew Stafford coming back for round 2 in Detroit. That one intrigues me. And then like everybody else was saying, the Chiefs and the Ravens to kick off the season, that'd be really good. We'll see if Rodgers can stay healthy for one game and actually do what he was supposed to do with the Jets, take them to the promised land.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a risk. Whoever made the NFL schedule really rolled the dice. Good for them, right? But putting the Jets in that many prime times after last year, as Nathan says, will be in Jerry's world. And we're joined by Lucky Lucy, says it's cloudy over Ray J. Oh, my Lord. Good thing no games are scheduled for today. Nathan says booked operation. Yep, drink package. You got to have the drink package. But, guys, it's been a fantastic Friday special. It's been a lot of fun today. I know it hasn't been the longest, but our intent was to
wait, real quick.
We're still going to give our final words. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, no, I just want to shout out Cam Jordan, who's still in his feelings because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers passed on his ass when he was wanting to come here. And so, you know what? You always talk about Atlanta Falcons are our rivals, but I always see Cam Jordan going at it with Bucs fans. So what does that tell you right there? That guy is a delusional, and he's not living in reality. So, you know what? Enjoy the offseason, you bum. I'm going to predict that for this season coming up already.
We're in his
That's-
head, right? And he's saying he's better than Warren Sapp and shit. And Gene, will you be running any specials? It's up to you totally, but Monday or Sunday,
yeah,
anything
Monday,
like that?
Monday we will have a show. So come and join us. Get comfortable. Bring your favorite adult beverage or water or milk or whatever you drink, and hang out with us. Have some fun.
Let's do it. Monday, Buck What You Heard, Buccaneers collab, led by Gene. Once again, I'm out of the building on Monday, but Gene is the man with the plan. And grab your beverage and join Gene and the guys. J-Lo, final words, and will you be on that Monday show, brother?
Fire them cannons, and yes, I will be on chopping it up with me and Gene. You know, like I said, I love talking Buccaneer football, and schedule's out. Now I got to start planning when to come out to your neck of the woods over in Nateville soon. And we're getting closer. We're getting closer to training camp.
Yeah, we are certainly getting closer. And guys, I know a lot of people are at work right now, but if you happen to be home, NFL Network is about to play an absolute epic replay of a football game. John Madden is on the call. Not going to ruin the game, but if you do have NFL Network and if you're by a television screen, you might want to throw it on with the late, great John Madden. Rest in peace. But guys, it's been beautiful with the great Gene from Buck What You Heard, with J-Lo. Remember, beer draft, we're up to 6 or 7 of them. If you guys have any beer recommendations for the Buccaneers and Buck What You Heard podcast for the 2024 season, get them in. By the time the Hall of Fame game comes, we're cutting off the competition. So be with us, and Gene's doing a great job of that. But guys, have a great weekend, fellas. I'm excited to watch Monday, and I'll see you guys sometimes next week.
All right, brother.
Yes,
Peace.
sir. Take care.
Take it easy, guys. Be safe this weekend. Fire the damn cannons. Go Bucks. Go Gene. Go J-Lo. Go Tones. And thanks again to the great JCL. And we out of here. Everybody enjoy your weekend. We'll be back Monday, 7 Eastern on Buck What You Heard and Buccaneers, led by Gene. Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets